Hello, everybody. Just came in from the rain outside, so pardon me. Christy Peterson, the psychic medium here, talking about messages from Ramadear again. This will be the last live in June, June, and then we move into July with questions. So, just a brief explanation. Ramadear is an extraterrestrial that I channel, and when we met, I agreed to write this book with him, Messages from Ramadear, A Collective Hope for Humanity. This has got questions that I wanted answers to, and I thought other people would want answers to as well. So we finished that book, and then the next book was published this last February, and I had public events and people would ask questions, and that's what this book is about. So when I agreed to work with Ramadear, I agreed to write 3 books with him. So first book, me asking questions. Second book, the public asking questions. Book 3 is what you're experiencing right now, and that is online questions, because I want to appeal to people around the world and give them the opportunity to ask Ramadear questions as well. You can ask personal, global, galactic questions, anything. And he won't answer those questions tonight, but at the end of the year, hopefully, if I get enough questions, hopefully at the end of the year, I will take a retreat. I will spend the time channeling Ramadear and answer all of those questions. And then that will be book 3. So the questions you ask, unless you specifically want your name there, they will be all anonymous questions. You can ask those questions to me. Just go to my website, christypeterson.com. You can connect with me there and send your questions. You can do it through comments here on YouTube. You can text me, email, all those ways you can contact me through the website, because I really want your questions. I was doing a little bit of math, and I need about 150 questions in order to really make a decent book. And I'm about a third of the way there. No, I'm about a fourth of the way there right now. And so I really want your questions, please, please, please. So what I'm going to do tonight is just really briefly, you can see I've got lots of tabs here, and I go through and pick out 2 pretty randomly that we're going to just briefly talk about tonight. So the first one the question was, what happens to baby souls when they die? Do they get to go on and have another life? And Ramadear's answer to that basically was, there are no baby souls. All souls are old souls. And they are just coming through as a baby at this time. And we have agreements with our parents and challenges that we want to face in this lifetime. So when a baby passes away, it is an agreement that they have had with the parents. And sometimes I see this happen with miscarriages, with abortions, with stillbirths. That's when we come into a human body, we come in with an end date and an end way in mind of how we're going to exit. So that can be maybe 6 weeks with a miscarriage or an abortion. Stillbirth could be, I just want to know what it's like to be born, and then I am exiting. So baby souls, no matter how long they live, the exact same thing happens with them as does an older human being who passes at what we would call the ripe old age, which we expect everybody to live to, and they just don't. And that is part of the agreement. Is, let's just talk about it for a minute. A baby says, I only want to know what it's like to live this long. And the mother says, I love you so much that I'm going to help you experience that. The mother might say, I want to know what it's like to lose a baby. And the baby says, I love you so much, I will help you experience that. And people will fight me on this all the time and say, I would never agree to that. Never in a million years. Well, of course not. Consciously, you're not going to do that. But on a soul level, you do, because that's why we're here, is to learn, to evolve, to grow, and experience everything that has ever been or ever will be. And that includes some of the more tragic, really sad events in life. So where do baby souls go? They go to the same place as any other soul. And like I said, there are no baby souls. They're all old souls. They go to heaven just like everybody else does. Because when they get to heaven, after they've left their human body, They can project themselves as any age. Because as a psychic medium, when I have little souls pop through for me, little baby souls, I have miscarriages pop through all the time. And they will show me a colored blanket, which tells me typically what gender that baby was. And then they will poof and they will pop into that of maybe a teenager, something like that. Once I've identified that, oh, this must be a miscarriage. Did you experience this? So they can show up as any age. And I will see that actually when older people pass as well. A lot of times they will show up for me, maybe looking 35, 40 years old. A lot of times they'll show up looking how they felt they looked their best when they were in human form. So anything goes. So that's what happens to baby souls. Exactly the same thing that happens with any other soul that chooses to exit this planet. All right, the next question that I marked is, I'm wondering if there are other planets in this universe where there are humans similar to us on planet Earth. And the answer to that is yes. In this universe, but in other universes as well. However, Earth is known as the hardest planet. It is a school. And the reason it is the hardest is because we come down here with no memory of who we were or are as a soul. So we are just fumbling around and trying to figure everything out. Plus, we have picked all of these challenges to experience, things we want to accomplish, experience, challenges we want to overcome by lessons that we want to learn. And, a lesson that that we might pick out, if we were young, we'd go into a panic. As we get older, it's a little bit easier for us. The same thing is true as a soul. If we remember who we are as a soul, these challenges would mean nothing to us. We'd just glide right through them. So that's why we come down with no memory of who we are in a soul form. And that's why it is so difficult. It is such a difficult school. And the way Ramadear explained it to me is that it's almost, I don't want to call it the fast track, but we can learn those same lessons. We can learn all that in spirit form, but it's like taking a class and learning how to paint, but you never get to pick up a paintbrush. So theoretically, you can explain what it's like. You can pick your color palette. You can do all this, but you still don't know what it's like to pick up a paintbrush, dip it in paint, and start painting a picture. When you're on Earth, that's exactly what you're doing, is picking up the paintbrush and painting a picture rather than just hearing about it, just seeing it. You're actually experiencing it. So that's what Ramadear has to say about that. If you are interested in either one of these books, you can get them on Amazon or order directly from me. Messages from Ramadear, book 1. Messages from Ramadear, book 2. But great, I'd love to have you order books, but really what I want you to do is ask Ramadear questions. Please, please, please. If you want to see book 3, send the questions. Thank you very much, and I will talk to you next week. All righty, bye.